Warning. This video blog or vlog may contain harsh language and opinions that are not necessarily in line with YouTube or its partners or affiliates. YouTube does not openly endorse the content of this vlog. All opinions are expressly those of Ranting Ramsay and do not reflect on the opinions or values of YouTube, its affiliates, or its parent or partner companies.
Greetings, Internet people. Ranting Ramsay here. How are you all doing today? Today we are once again talking about video games, and there's one main point that I wanted to address, and then a couple of side points that are connected to that main point. And the main point I want to address is a little further news on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. The very last video I did was a video in which I discussed the possibility, the remote possibility that Modern Warfare 3 might get banned in the UK. And in the comment section of that video, a lot of people popped up and said, you know what, even if it does get banned in Modern Warfare or in UK, that they can purchase it online from other European countries, and that the sourcing, or whatever the hell it's called, the zoning or the sourcing or something like that, is the same for other European countries. So even if it gets banned in Europe or in the UK, they can buy a copy from another European country and play that on their PlayStation or Xbox. So that's really not a big issue, and it's not going to happen anyway. As like I said in that video, Modern Warfare 3 is not going to get banned in the UK. They'd be absolutely asininely retarded to do so. But what they are doing, and this is something that I've kind of alluded to was going to happen before. In my early YouTube career, I did a pair of videos. One was called the potential dangers of buying used games, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description for you. Then there was a follow-up rant that I did called One Potential Danger of Buying Used Games Realized, and I'll go ahead and I'll link that in the description as well. And what those two videos basically discussed was the tendency for companies like EA specifically with their sports games to include a one-time usage code to access online features. When I bought FIFA 11, I got one of these codes. And the point of that was that if you buy the game used, you have to pay a further $10 on top of whatever you paid for the game to access the online features if you buy it used. And the person used the code that came with the game. And so what I had said with the basic gist of one of those videos was that if the video game industry continues to see the trend that 40% of the profits in the video game industry come from the sale of used games, which the publishers themselves get no profit from, that we could see the overall cost of gaming increase in the form of higher prices for new games and paying for extra content, which we were already doing to an extent when it came to downloadable content, which will bring me to one of my side points here shortly. But the basic short and skinny was I had warned people that you're going to see gaming companies find new ways to cost you more money, and Activision is doing exactly that with Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to link you, the third link in the description box will be to an article from Yahoo's gaming blog people. And here's a direct quote from that article. It says, the company has unveiled, the company being Activision, a subscription-based online service called Call of Duty Elite that will provide extra content for players, including map packs and social network functionality for players. Due to launch this fall alongside Modern Warfare 3, the next installment in the series, Elite will not only give players access to downloadable content for the game, but will offer in-depth tracking of player statistics and an advanced matchmaking service, letting people play multiplayer games with their friends and opponents with similar skills. People who do not subscribe to the service will still be able to play the games online for free. But you just won't have the standard matchmaking and group services that Call of Duty is known for, apparently, that you won't get the real good matchmaking and group servicing and all this happy shit unless you pay for the Elite service, which I believe they said was going to be in the neighborhood of $5 to $8 per month. So on top of the $60 that you're going to pay for Modern Warfare 3, if you want to get the most out of the multiplayer, which is 99% of the reason that people are going to buy this game, let's not kid ourselves. Call of Duty story modes are fun, but they rarely take more than 10 hours to complete on veteran difficulty if you're good at shooter games. I'm not even really awesome at online games, and I can get through a Call of Duty like Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, whatever, on veteran on the first time playing through in less than 12 to 15 hours. I usually have about 10 to 11 hours it takes me to beat these games the first time on veteran. So they're not buying it. People won't be buying it for the campaign. That's obvious. And Activision is going to charge people $5 to $8 a month on top of the $60 for the game to access the features that they've already got people grown accustomed to. Now, the side point that I wanted to bring up is that when SOCOM 4 came out, right before the big Sony PlayStation Network outage, there was a very little talked about point about SOCOM 4, which was actually one of the greatest, best things that I've ever seen any game company do since the advent of paid for downloadable content. When you bought a brand new copy of SOCOM 4, you had on the back of your game manual a scratch-off code for SOCOM Pro. What SOCOM Pro gives you is downloadable packs and maps for free. And other updated stuff like that for absolute free. Extra content, downloadable content in the form of maps, weapons, stuff like that for absolute free as long as you bought the game new and used your SOCOM Pro code. You can still buy the game used, but then you'll pay standard downloadable content prices for new map packs and stuff like that. But if you bought the game brand new and used your SOCOM Pro code, no downloadable content is going to cost you a dime. And in Zipper's recent blog update about what's going on with the SOCOM patches, they reinforced that, and they said if you have SOCOM Pro, these map packs won't cost you a dime, but if you bought the game used, you're going to have to pay for the map packs. I thought that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen any video game company do with a video or with a thing like that ever, because then you have a incentive to buy it new, that you get further content for free. Whereas in the past, even if you bought a game brand new, you would more than likely pay for the extra downloaded content that came later unless you were a member of some special club, but even then you may only get a discount, you don't get it for free. So, for anyone who wants to jump up and say that, well, this is the best way to get good service with blah, 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 with Call of Duty, with this Elite thing, I counter and say that with SOCOM, with Zipper, that you get the same kind of shit that they're promising except for free. Now, I know there's a few people who are probably going to jump up and say that SOCOM 4 has no group support, and they're right. That is a flaw in the game, but that is the next announced thing that Zipper said they were going to fix about SOCOM 4. They said they were going to fix the matchmaking because there really basically is none. You have clan support, but no group support, which is the biggest downfall of this game, because it's virtually impossible to get into a game with your friends and on the same team at the same time. It can be done if you're extremely persistent and extremely patient, but unfortunately the people that I have been playing online games with are not. So I've been forced to play SOCOM 4 by myself with random people. But, so that's the big thing I wanted to mention about the video games, really, is the fact that Activision really is, in my personal opinion, going to commit one of the greatest fails ever when it comes to being friendly with their customer base. It's not going to be a fail in the term of business. They're going to make millions of dollars off of this shit because people are going to pay it. Look at World of Warcraft. It's a paid-for-month service or paid-for-year service, and they still have more subscribers and users and have a higher income revenue than any one single other game franchise. So we know that people are willing to pay to play. Look at Xbox Live. I paid for Xbox Live for 2.5 years. We know people are willing to pay to play, but I still think it's a huge middle fucking finger to the gaming community that Call of Duty is blatantly basically saying that all the features of matchmaking and stat tracking and this, that, and the other that you've grown accustomed from us, you are now going to have to pay $5 to $8 a month to obtain, even though you paid $60 for our game. That is absolute bullshit, and the only question I have for Activision at this point in time is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. You're simply fucking asinine. I'm RantingRamsay. That is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?
Douche.